Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever the case. Welcome to Cross Examinations. Now, normally, well, not normally, but lately, what I would be doing is hooking up my Facebook feed so that I could bring Facebook followers into the YouTube space. But Facebook is down. Facebook is down. What's going on with Facebook? It does lead to a greater question, though. Is social media destroying our culture? The unity, what unity there was, is it driving people apart, essentially? But that is a question for later. I don't actually have an article, but I want to get into that after I do the quick turnaround from yesterday's Christians can't answer cross-examinations, which was episode 96. 96. It's probably not warm anymore. Episode 96. Let me get a little swig of water here and attack these two little, well, okay, 3 replies. Withheld rather not say says, Rhaegar, I know you are hearing this comment. Stop denying that you had sexual relations with Lyanna Stark and fathered that nincompoop Jon Snow. I saw Brentis Sharperior cover the full story on the Westeros Report, and no, it's not Lannister propaganda. Crying face. A little fun at the expense of our friend Rhaegar Targaryen. Super Crusader has a more serious comment. The fact that atheists busy themselves almost exclusively with attacking Christianity is a tremendous proof for the authenticity of our faith. They ceaselessly... Oh, I'm sorry. Today's been a thing. They ceaselessly rail against Christianity because whether they will admit it to themselves or not, something deep inside them recognizes that it is true. And admitting that would require they take responsibility for their lives. Not every atheist. I don't defend atheism, obviously, but not every atheist attacks Christianity. Case in point, John Malin does not attack Christianity. Not to my knowledge, anyways. He's defended us, actually. Defended me in particular. But yeah, I know there are a number of atheists who do, and incessantly, and to that your point does reflect. Withheld responds to that. Super Crusader, not to mention that those specific atheists are ultimately harming their own fellow atheists in the process. And by that, I mean ones who personally don't believe that there is a God, but don't look down on those of faith. Okay, well, maybe I should just read the answer instead of, or the response. It's stuff like that that made the conviction of Arc of Berserk my least favorite arc of the entire story, sighs heavily. The conviction arc of Berserk. I don't even know what you're talking about. Thank you, Friedrich Nietzsche, for pretty much inventing the atheist superior complex. Oh, Friedrich Nietzsche. I think you're talking about. Is it Friedrich? Nietzsche. I'm sure it didn't lead to any suffering. Cough. Read more. Cough. Joseph Stalin. Cough. Yeah. There has been, I mean, honestly, atheism as an ideology born by, supported by, promulgated by, promoted by, and backed by atheism. The communists caused more suffering and death than any other ideology in the history of planet Earth besides Islam. So, truth. There is truth, but I don't blame every atheist for that. So, and nor do I think anyone should. And again, not supporting atheism. I would hope that all atheists come to a loving faith. Oh my gosh, where is this page? Reckless Universe? Oh, I haven't started it yet. Sorry, apologies. I got up today, got up early, tried to got on Ethan's stream, promoted his new his third cover for Cyberfrog coming out. I actually supported it. I was number 28. I couldn't find it. I kept refreshing Indiegogo at 9 a.m. and it wasn't populating on Indiegogo's actual site. So I didn't even think to check Twitter first because I figured, oh, he'll be on YouTube, and he was not on YouTube until it was so late I could only get in as number 28. So whatever. But he took that stream down, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Sync alert. I don't know. Let me turn my camera off for a minute. Oh boy, I really do feel like just taking a nap. Maybe I should drink some more coffee. I have so much packing to do, and then I have drawn and quartered tonight. But I did have a good lunch with Muerta and his brother. Delivered some art, sold him some new art, and had a great chat. So that was good. Good times. Good times were had by all. All right, let's double check this camera. What do you guys think? Am I synced up? Syncing up? Syncing up? Gosh, how am I hungry again? I just ate lunch. What's up, Star Q, Dennis, Cubstodon, Elric, Adam, Perkindo, General Devereaux, Derek. Did I say that already? Thustra? Cameron? Star? See, at this point, I just start repeating myself. Beowulf, everybody else. Henry, WK. All right. Wow, Facebook was down. I barely use it anymore. I barely use it myself anymore. I use it mostly for Messenger, which is how I keep in touch with Oli and lots of family. Replenish them fluids. I know. Let me see. Let me go back to Facebook again and see if it's up yet. No, still not up. Interesting. Fun times in Facebook world. Facebook started out pretty low to begin with. Angry atheists are scared. Bring back old Facebook. I just want to say, where did that go? Mr. Hellstorm says, I just want to say thank you to everyone in the chat and all comic skaters. You guys make me feel like I'm part of the family. Yeah, man, you are part of the family. This, I know, like Richard Meyer is always saying, it's not a community, it's an industry. Yeah, me, I'm part of the industry, right? You guys, you're the community. And I like to feel like I'm part of that community, but with a louder voice. But I mean, honestly, the only comics I'm buying are comic skate books. Customer of Comic Skate as well, and thus part of the community. So we are a community. We support each other. We pray for each other. We help each other. We have lunch with each other. You know what? We are a community. I'm sorry, Richard C. Meyer, but the industry we are leaving behind, they can have it. I'm outie. Wonderful news. Makes sense. I tried to share an anti-Brie video and it didn't work. Facebook can burn. Yeah, my anti, I don't want to say anti-Brie. My wife's worried about this dark spot. I'm like, I don't know. It's been there for a while. It's not lumpy or anything. But a fan of the Captain Marvel. And those streams, those videos do seem to get throttled a little bit. One of them on Twitter, I had up there. I posted it it was up there for 52 minutes, I think. and it had 1 like. I can't think of anything in the last 6 months that I've ever posted on Twitter, the most innocuous things that were ever had been on Twitter for an hour and had 1 like, right? Even the worst things would have more than 1 like, or at least comments or whatever. But they completely throttled that post. So it's not just Facebook, it's Twitter, it's YouTube, it's everywhere. There is a grand conspiracy to try to elevate this vacuous, characterless cipher as the hero of the peoples. It's ridiculous. Beowulf says, I didn't realize John was an atheist. He comes across more as an agnostic. Yeah, he does come across more of an agnostic, but he proclaims himself to be. I will take him at his word. Jeremiah says, good afternoon, everyone. YouTube is still not telling me Mike is streaming. I'm sorry, and please do share this out. Share it out to the world. Obviously not to Facebook because it wouldn't help, but share it out to Twitter and whatever else you use, Discord. I don't care. Let's get some more peeps in here. That would be great. Thank you very much. Is a sync better? I don't know. YouTube does love unringing that bell. Yeah, so please do double check and make sure that bell is rung. Michael Pernesti, you're late. Aloha. This is a beautiful day in Tennessee. Tis a beautiful day here too. I kind of want to go outside and stretch out on the stretchy. What is the thing called? Hammer? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Mike watched videos where archaeologists claim found the remains of the Tower of Babel in Iraq. What are your thoughts, Starwalk? Well, that, I believe, sounds like an accurate locale. They found like a tell, probably, right? I imagine something that size would have left a mark. I mean, it was post-flood, so... hey, Mike, did I hear right? SJW freaks are after Neil Adams now. That's so I wouldn't say Neil Adams was Trump hating goon, but at a moment of clarity or reasonable, rational thought, and heard that the truth that if you're a vocal Republican or conservative in the comics industry, you might as well kiss your career goodbye. Most cases, in many cases that I'm aware of, Prof included, and he said that he had gotten of phone calls from people like Dave Johnson and Dan Panosian and John Lehman and all these babies swearing up and down and probably telling him, dude, you do not want to go there. You do not want to take that cat out of the bag, and then 18 short hours later he gets back on Twitter and says, oh, I have subject and sorry, I keep forgetting words today. My brain is honestly, I really want to take a nap. Discrimination going on in our industry, which I forget. Did I finish up the Injustice book? Was I as important of a player on the Injustice book on the second one after Trump got elected as I was on the first one? Of the key, if not the key artist on the project? I forget. Oh no, wait, I don't forget. I wasn't. Hmm. Hmm. Anyways, even after asking multiple editors, even some of the highest at DC for other work, was I getting any? Gosh, I forget. Oh, wait, I don't forget. No, I didn't. Did I ever miss deadlines? No, I didn't. Did I turn in subpar work? No, I didn't. Is there any other on earth that an artist of my caliber could not maintain a regular schedule at a company for which I am working? No, there is not. So I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. Dennis says, Muerta? That's cool. I don't know where you live, man, but oh wait, I should know where you live. I'm mailing you stuff. If you're ever in San Diego, we'll do lunch, brother. Super Noodles says, hello, Mike. Well, hello to you, Super Noodles. Perkino, same here. I just got home from eating at the local Chinese restaurant and I'm sleepy. Yeah, we had pho. So that's a lot of carbohydrates, which gives you this and then gives you this. And usually I'll have like an iced Vietnamese coffee with my noodles, but I just had a big mug of coffee from my leftist tears hot or cold tumbler before I went, so I didn't really want to get all wired. And now I'm like, no. I wasn't sure there was going to be a cross examinations today. Sorry, David. I do try to get here every day. I just sometimes life bumps me out of the morning and into the afternoon, and once it even went into the evening, once or twice actually. Custom Elvis has not seriously used Facebook since December of last year. That's that's more or less probably September, maybe. My gosh. Hold on a second. It's my wife. Hello, I am streaming. Sorry. Wife. No. It'd be nice if it. Facebook is good for keeping up with old friends, and that's about it. Instagram was also effective. Okay, all right. So the Facebook thing, guys, you guys probably know I went to the memorial for my friend James Rochelle this weekend. James was a left winger, but James, and it's funny, they even mentioned me and James, or me. So one guy mentioned me talking about the way James was on Facebook because James and I would go at it on Facebook, right? We would argue years and years and years on Facebook. And it became sort of this thing. Like James would post something and people would wait for me to respond. Right? And then we would go at it, but it would always be with the understanding that James and I loved and respected each other. And it was never insulting. It was never backbiting. It was never snide. It was two friends who disagreed. And somehow or another, James and I could always manage to do so without being disagreeable. But 99 times out of 100, and it's funny because someone's talking about James on Facebook, and then he brought up, if you've ever read an argument with Mike, what James had with Mike Miller, and the entire room erupted in laughter. It was so funny. And afterwards, I had a talk with an old friend of obviously both of ours, Ron, who he's like, yeah, I try to stay out of all that stuff. I know Ron is a lefty too, but he's like, yeah, I just try to stay out of that stuff, and he would read the stuff that James and I said, and he said, I just, I marvel at how you two could always communicate and disagree and discuss stuff, because nobody does that. Nobody does that on social media. It is always the fighting and the backbiting and the insults and the one-upsmanship, and it has destroyed friendships and families, and it's crumbling our society. And I've been as guilty as anybody else of doing it with certain other people. I pledged not too long ago not to insult anyone on Twitter. um I've failed to live up to that pledge, I believe, but I'm trying. But if everyone on social media could disagree the way James and I disagreed, it would be a wonderful experience. People could think and talk things through. And when James and I would sit down and have a beer together, or have a port together, or break bread, um, all the stuff we disagree about is like 1% of what's actually our day-to-day lives, right? We just get fed it so much through social media. We get fed it so much through MSNBC and Ben Shapiro and I don't know who's a talking head on the left that's as popular as Ben Shapiro. I don't think there is one, but um, I don't know. It's hard, and it's a loss. James is, and people hate. I don't want to politicize James at all, but James was, even though fairly diametrically opposed in every political facet, he was a great friend, and he was going to do his book through Comicsgate. And I mentioned that on Twitter at one point, and people freaking hate it. How dare you claim that? Dude, I got him on. I was doing videos. The day he passed away, he was supposed to be on my show. Um, Comicsgate had given him hope because he had lived in sort of a questioning his own work and his ability to do anything with his work for so long. His wife, April, common law, but even though California doesn't have common law, she's still, um, she said, he was such a phenomenal talent, but he had this self-doubt that tortured him. And the whole Comicsgate thing gave him such hope. And she's like, and she saw it, that he was moving at doing his comic, and it would have been something great. And I still need to talk to her. Now, here's the thing. I am no, I'm not going to go there. This is cross-examinations. There's something that irritated me about. Never mind. Is social media? If all social media suddenly, like Facebook has blinked out today, would that be a huge blessing to this world? It might be it might harm business, but would it better society as a whole if people could stop tweeting at each other vile, vitriolic, angry, hateful rants, and instead, have a cup of coffee with your neighbor? sit down and eat some French fries with someone you disagree with. You know, it's so much harder to be a vitriolic douchebag when you're sitting face to face with somebody else. Your conscience to you that, would I say this to somebody's face? Would I say it if that person was sitting right in front of me? And if I would, what kind of person would that make me? Right? I don't know. Maybe it's the threat of violence. If you look somebody else in the face, they may take a swing at you. And therefore, you know what? When everybody's walking around with 6-shooters, I bet you everybody's real polite. Oh no, they're saying Facebook is back up. I guess it's not the end. It's not the end. Society has not been saved by a glitch in the matrix. Oh well. Oh well. Life goes on. Let's see what you guys might think about my little rant. Cubstodon says, I had to take public transit for the first time in 15 years and everyone was face down on their phones. I know. Nobody talks to each other anymore. Everybody just talks to their phones, at their phones. I think one good EMP would make people actually talk to each other. You know, I had this story idea about the millennium, right? You guys all know the millennium. Well, I have this fantasy version of the millennium whereby all electronics, like the world is EMP'd, right? And all electronics are gone. Electronics no longer work. So it becomes sort of, because, you know, like obviously gas-powered engines, steam-powered engines, it would be kind of this weird, funky, futuristic, steampunkish world, because it would be like, you know, 300, 400, 500 years into the have the old cities and the old technologies, but they're like old and decrepit and whatnot, and people might use them to scrap from, but they're living in the world under God who lives on the other side of the planet, right? Angels are peacekeepers. You know, you have these different rules, different laws. You're living in the millennium. But yeah, there would be no electronics, so that everybody would have to have real communication and real, none of this synthesized crap. Like Metatron says. Still, like, remember that day when all of San Diego lost power for almost a day? Yeah, and I went and I dug out my old AM transistor radio, little sucker from Japan, which somehow the kids have destroyed. I can't have anything. I can't keep anything in this place. But yeah, I was listening to that old, you know, 9-volt battery AM transistor radio like all day long, and I'm like, what is going on? That was great. Oh, Perkindo, what's the matter? Perkindo says, Perkindo, you having a problem? Someone was praying for Perkindo. I don't know why. Scott Eben says Rochelle was liberal but civil in his responses on Facebook. Yeah, Scott was there. Scott used to read our little back and forths as well. Dynamo, when are you shipping Theme G? You need to lay off that, man. Late Bloomer's tier for Lone Star out? No, it is not. I should be getting those metal prints in on Friday, and then I will be packing those up. And those, except for the slabbed books, those will be the last ones out. Stream stable for me now. Get some rest or caffeine before drawing a quarter. We need you at the top of your game. Yeah. You're supposed to be at the dentist. Get here now. None of us. What? What does that mean? I don't understand. Texas is another easy drive. Did EVS's stream end abruptly? Not sure if I had a lag in playback, but for me it suddenly ended and then said it had been removed. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I'm really curious what happened as to why Ethan's stream got removed. And I figured he'd be streaming all day long, but boom, not there. Weird. Twitter scares old people. Facebook is the only way I can keep in touch with my dad. Yeah, so is it back up for me here too? Nope. Still not back up for me. I guess it's back up in some places though. Wasn't John Malin banned from Marvel for supporting Trump? I don't know the exact. I don't remember the exact story. I don't know if it was Trump or yeah, I'm not sure. You'd have to ask him. I only use YouTube as well. Facebook is a popularity contest for a lot of people. Discuss, debate, agree to disagree. Well, you don't even have to agree to disagree. You can grind a subject into the dirt. You know, I don't mind. Yeah, especially with James, I wouldn't mind having threads that went on for 200-300 comments. You know, just back and forth, as long as you can be civil and respectful. Disagreements are fun. It's when these trolls and these troglodytes want to just try to grind you in the dirt and try to one-up you and try to just show, you know, call you all kinds of names and whatnot. Yes, I just called them trolls and troglodytes, but I'm not being specific to any particular person. I'm just saying this is how they behave. Yeah, being a hypocrite. Yeah. I wish there were more Jameses in the world, and I'm going to miss the one that's gone. Oh, you are disagree with social media. Tucker Carlson. He's not on the left. He's on the right. Cenk Uygur. There you go. There's one. There's one. Young Turks is propaganda. Yeah, it is. Withheld rather not say. I feel for you. Mike James would have been great here. He would have been. I wish he hadn't been so busy. Or he would have been on the show more regularly. But at least I got one good show where we got to just sit down and talk for like 3 hours or something like that. Yeah. Sorry for your loss. Thank you, Bat Goat. Is she gonna let you use the 30 pieces of silver story? You know, what's funny is James's aunt came up to me at the memorial, and she's like, "Oh, April told me about you," and she's all, we really want you to do the silver story, and we know you. I'm like, oh, I hope I can do something. She's like, I know you can. So I'm like, yeah, I would still like to do that. So I need to talk to April. Cenk Uygur is an Armenian genocide denier. Yeah. I'd miss YouTube. That's it. Yeah. YouTube is like YouTube is TV now. Yeah, when I was talking to Muerta and his brother, they're like, yeah, we don't even watch anything but YouTube now. And mostly they just watch Comicsgate. The scary thing is that the answer is yes, it would help the world, says Elric. I know, right? And that's weird because you look at somebody who doesn't use social media and you go, oh my gosh, what a boomer, or what a Luddite. It's like, yeah, but it's how smart are they? At least I have great hair. I don't know what that has to do with anything. FinLab has a question. A professed atheist's actions can betray him to be a believer. Does everything just on declaration? No, your declarations can contradict your actions for sure. and vice versa. So, although it is also the case, good people can do bad things and bad people can do good things. So, Hitler was great with his dog. I'm sure Hitler was great with his mistress. Hitler was not great in other areas. Bad people can do good things. Good people can do bad things. In fact, all people can do bad things. But we try not to. I think one good EMP would make people actually talk to each other, says Mark. See, I think you're probably right. Post-Facebook apocalypse. Yeah, I mean, other than losing all the pictures to Facebook, I would be fine with it just disappearing from the face of the earth. Although I do have some long-lost cousins that I only talk to through there. Lost before Facebook, they can be long-lost after. Oh my gosh, we're only 35 minutes in. I don't know if I can do a whole hour today. I'm winding down. Instagram is down too. Oh. Withheld already did the comments from the last stream. I don't want to regurgitate that. Dennis Peruch. Was it Facebook version or the Thanos snap? How many conservatives were deleted from Facebook when it came back up? Oh, that's interesting. Well, it's just not even logging in at all on either computer. Let me try see if this pinwheel. Oh, it's up. It's up. All right, it's up on this computer. Let me try this computer again. I just tried it a few minutes ago and it was not up. But it's up. It is up. Oh, well. Oh, well. So much for hoping for the best. Without social media, we all wouldn't be talking right now. Yeah, that's true, Jeremiah Jans. There are that's why the question was, is it a net benefit? Right? We wouldn't be talking, but would we be communicating with our neighbors? Would I be outside talking to my neighbor Walt right now? Instead of, this. I mean, yeah, there are obviously benefits. There are obviously benefits. But is it a greater detriment is the question. And I don't even know how you would possibly measure it. Y2K could have saved us all. David says, sounds like hell, Mike. I write software for a living and games for a hobby. But what if your hobby, instead of writing software for games, was creating board games, right? Like my son's creating board games. If you can write software, hey, you can write software. We should talk, David. Facebook. Oh, Comic-Con for £2 says, Mike, join me on Gab. Ramsey Comics before Twitter bans you. Another social media. Another one. All right. Stream frozen. Uh-oh. No, still working. Still working on my end. Go to bed, Mike. Hope all is well. So it begins. Dude, social media was the drug we were on. Now we feel the withdrawal effect. Mike, what do you think of a parody character of Captain Planet? I think that could be really funny and entertaining, honestly. Mark 1018 from TPQ is quoting me to correct me, saying good men do bad things, bad men do good things, even though I was being a little hyperbolic. And Jesus said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, and that is God. I know. All right. Facebook is up. Thanks for joining Cross-Examination. See you all tomorrow. David. What are we talking about today? Jay, well, Facebook had a global glitch, it sounds like, and it was down. And so I was eulogizing Facebook by saying that, you know, social media has really kind of destroyed the civility in our world. And I was just wondering if all the social media came crashing down, if we would all just start being nice to each other again. I mean, maybe not all of us, but so much of it is just bitter anger. Comic-Con. Is the chat behind? I'm behind in the chat. Social media, I'll call it something else. Benefit, just realized presence instead of us. Oh boy. Y2K. Oh, you don't remember? Withheld. You must be young. Y2K was so before the year 2000, there was this mass. I don't even know if it was a hysteria or if it was legitimate, because I know they were sending out programmers by the thousands to try to fix every line of code to make sure that they would work. But the fear was that code was date stamped with the last two digits. So you'd have something with the date stamp, 8/22/74, right? And it would be date stamped. It would be part of a code. It would be part of a time lock or whatever it was. This is an oversimplification and something I haven't thought about for 18 years. And so you would have things happening like, or you would speculate that you would have mass computer failure when the clock went from 1999, which would have just been 99, to 00, right? Because it wasn't a 4-digit time code or year code. It was a 2-digit year code. And going from 99 to 0 may have caused some catastrophic failures in many systems. I don't know how many systems were actually affected, but I do know that they had a crap ton of programmers out there trying to find every single line of code that used a 2-digit time code and somehow fixing the code so that it used a 4-digit. And it ended up being a great big nothing. They were worried about like bank vaults popping open in the middle of the night because they, whatever, all kinds of crap, but nothing really happened. But it was a huge hysteria right before the turn of the century. So a little weird history for those of you who aren't old enough to remember, which I never even thought about it because it was only 18 years ago, 19 years ago. Bible story time. Yeah. Bible story time. Learn to code. Fear that clocks would be up. Someone in Comicsgate could really build up their channels if they would mirror EVS's stream for us. Oh, you mean like off onto another service like BitChute or something? Or you don't mean mirroring it here on YouTube? At Facebook, we're secretly reading the election 2020. What? Planes were going to fall out of the sky in 2000. Yeah. Well, what happens if the computer on your jumbo liner gets janky because of some computer code? David Peterson, yeah, Y2K was because some companies were keeping their dates in 2 digits and would wrap to 00, so the computer would think it's 1900. Yeah. WK says, I once worked a 36-hour shift fixing Y2K bugs in December of 1999. Well, I'm glad you programmers were out there avoiding the computer apocalypse. I'm sure you saved us all from having to get up because our alarms went off at the wrong time or something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You know, a lot of the world's run by computers. So if you had a legitimate glitch screwing stuff up, I could see it would have caused some problems. But my understanding, says David, is that the major institutions had it fixed way before the scare, so banks and such weren't affected. There you go. Y2K ruined the filing system at the place I worked at the time. It was a mess, says Adam AF. It was good for COBOL programmers, says Winamp. Wow, we got a lot of programmers in here. I remember walking into the bank to get money. Hi, Mike. Hey, David. Facebook's still not working here. Yeah, I guess it's coming up in different places at different times. So FluxCore says snipe. Don't know why. Do it, Mike. Mirror Ethan's live streams. Mirror them. Why? Why? Here on YouTube as an archive channel, EVS wants someone else to do it for him. Yes, we saved everyone from the apocalypse, and then people complain. Send me money, damn it. Mike, are you going to sell that Mike's Tabletop shirt that EVS had? Mike's Tabletop? What? I didn't see it. Hey, if there's any really good game programmer, David, if you're a really good game programmer and you like want to work on a game sometime in the future, like hit me up. We'll figure some stuff out. Obviously, I can do art or find artists and whatnot. So we need to rely on Jesus, not technology. I agree. Why don't you draw something, Mike, without your feet? Actually, I just finished something. You guys want to see it? I just finished a little something. Sent it out to our friend Kyle. I don't know if you can see this well. Here we go. It is for Starblades. Just wrapped it up today. Been working on it for a bit. Can't wait to see. I don't know why that's not focusing well. Cannot wait to see inks or the colors that Kyle throws on this bad mamma jamba, because that'd be cool. Check out my channel. I have 2 videos regarding my game. David Peterson. I will do that. I can pop out a new go-to channel. All right. I'll do that after the fact. Your drawings are really the best. Oh, thank you. $200 confirmed on Starblade. $250. Guys, no bidding on the cover yet. It's a cover. I mean, come on. I'm not going to be doing any Cal Arts books. I am sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Guys, I am about to. Do you guys have any questions? This seems like it's gotten really non-biblical today, and it just. Are there any atheists? Seriously, stop bidding. I'm not selling it right now. Plus, it's a cover. I wouldn't let it go for less than $1,000 anyways. If any of you would, anybody have any questions? We got 12 minutes left. I don't want to keep talking about history like Y2K. It was really nothing biblical, although it did kind of mess up Chuck Missler's career. Chuck Missler, or his witness at least, Chuck Missler was really hard in the paint on Y2K because he had a engineering and programming background. So, okay, Flux, hit me with a question, man. Give me something I can drone on and on about for 10 minutes. Haha, George, you're funny. We need an atheist to get us back on track. Mike, do you think God was flawed before he created us? No, I don't think he was flawed before or after. God is perfection. So, thoughts on rich people paying bribes to get their kids into college? Yeah, I do have thoughts on that. I think it's dirty. I think it's wrong. I think it's immoral. But I don't think it should be illegal. I really don't see where government should step in and say, hey, you're rich. You can't buy your way into a college. Why not? What possible reason should that be made illegal? It's unless, it's a government college. If it's a government college, I guess, whatever. But if it's a private school, if it's a private college, what right does the government have to make that illegal per se? It's not a business, Hello. Eden's home. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. So flat next auctioneer battle. Want some good looking woman that's not flat for the next auctioneer battle. Is it right to atheists? No, it's not right to hate anyone, even von Scriver. No. You must hate sin, but we all sin. I know there's those who say that we don't sin if we're saved. It's like you're being, I don't know. It just seems self-defined. I know there's a scripture that says that we do not sin, but it is we do not sin, but sin. What is it? How does it go exactly? But sin lives within us, or something like that. But that all gets a little semantic. In the general reality of truth, we all do sin, even if we are saved. We do not live in sin. We do not want to sin. Hopefully, the Spirit is convicting us against sin. But as a practical matter, of course, we all do sin. And so hate the sin. I mean, I know everyone's heard it. Hate the sin, love the sinner. Because, there but for the grace of God go I, right? I mean, I deserve to burn in hell. I know that. People hate me for far lesser things. anyways. Tell us the origin of the Star of David, please, says Spike and Magnus. Well, I think it's all kind of legendary. But the one legend that I have heard or I've read, how was it? That's something along the lines of when David, the Star of David, the Magen David, was the star that adorned David's shield, or was revealed, or something like that, in his shield when his shield got damaged, or something like that, and it formed the shape of the star. I can't remember exactly. I didn't memorize it. I should go back and research it again. Maybe you can go back and research it and respond to us. But that was what I recall from the legend. I don't think there's nothing scripturally that describes it, but that's about as good as I can recall. Tell us what happened at the Council of Nicaea. No, I can't. I get my councils confused. Would love to tackle spiritual warfare sometime. My geography professor looked at me like I was crazy for suggesting that I had doubts about global warming due to my religious beliefs. Well, the globe may be warming. It didn't for a solid 15, 18 years. It just went into a state of stasis. I don't know if it's warming again or if we're heading into another cool down period. I have no idea. But the question is anthropomorphic global warming a thing? Does man's activity on Earth cause global warming? Which is the question. Which, considering the fact that the globe was warm, or the CO2 levels were rising. Let me see, how's it go? I don't want to look into all this. Basic statement of fact. You know that they claim CO2 is the causation of global warming. Well, sorry, but the global temperature fluctuations are a leading indicator, because first the temperature goes up, then the CO2 levels go up. Then the temperature goes down, then the CO2 levels go down. And that cause, effect. Cause, effect. First law of thermodynamics or something like that. Or is that energy cannot be created or destroyed? First law of physics? I forget. It's a law. The law of cause and effect. I really do need to go to sleep. Oh man, it's 4:30. That means I need to be up. I gotta start my show at 7, so I only have 2.5 hours. Someone had a question. Do you still update your private art page? I haven't updated it in a long time. What about the decline of church membership? What about it? What's the question? Let's see. It's got Rob. Let me check something real quick. All right. Sunspots. Yeah, Jay Hamilton, I have heard that there is a direct correlation to sunspot activity and the temperature fluctuation of the globe. So, correlation, as I said. So, is that causation? Correlation does not equal causation, but I'm more inclined to believe that the sun that heats our planet, fluctuating its warmth, can affect the warmth of the planet than I am carbon dioxide, which is a leading, or which is an effect of the global climate change. Plus, carbon dioxide is a heavy gas. It literally sinks in the atmosphere. It drops to the ground in the atmosphere. And then, guess what? Plants absorb it and turn it into oxygen. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. I think there were a lot of hot chicks in Sodom. I think if there were more hot chicks in Sodom, the problem wouldn't have been sodomy. You know what I'm saying? Mike, your thoughts on Nephilim? I believe that Nephilim are the offspring of sons of God, angels, and sons of man. Women. Or daughters of man. Sorry, daughters of man. There's nowhere else in Scripture that refers to sons of God as anything other than a direct creation of God, of which there are two categories: Adam and Eve, or angels. There are no other sons of God referred to in the Bible. And when people try to use sons of God to mean children of the line of Adam, it would be a unique case of that word usage. So if you're going by the constancy of Scripture, then you have to accept that sons of God meant angels, found women to be desirous and made wives of them, and then created Nephilim from them, which were then described as giants and heroes of old. So why on earth would a regular human and another regular human having a child together beget a giant or a hero of old? Or men of renown. I think that is it. Men of renown or heroes of old. One or the other. I can't forget. No. That's. There's many historical and anthropological accounts of giants, Nephilim, says Scott Event. You are correct, sir. Ethan von Scriver says, I'd love to hear your thoughts on films like Noah and Book of Eli. Noah, I thought, was absolute garbage, and I really, really wanted to like that movie. I loved freaking Russell Crowe. I loved Jennifer Connelly. the production value was great. God, the story was so bad. It was so dumb. Oh man. I'm like, yay, another great biblical thing. And then they just take so many ridiculous. I mean, why don't you just do the story? Just do the story. Yeah, you can add to the story as long as you're not corrupting the story and trying to push some bizarre environmental message. And what? No. Book of Eli. I love Book of Eli. I think that is a great story. It's got great characters. It's so well filmed. I mean, I don't think it's not trying to take a biblical story and shoehorn ideologies into it. It's taking an apocalyptic story and realizing the necessity of faith through it, right? I think Eli is a great story. Noah is a horrible movie. So, yes, Sons of God means angels, says 888. Yep. Book of Eli is an awesome movie. Yep. CO2 increases are a good thing. Yeah, especially for the plants of this planet. Which, haven't we been complaining about how bad we've been treating the plants for like decades, since the 70s, probably since the 60s? And then lo and behold, we've now got so much CO2 in the air that plants have there's been more, the greening of the planet has begun, and they want to stop it. Make up your mind, you environmentalist hacks. Have you read the Book of Enoch or the book Jasher? I have not read Jasher. Enoch, yes, Enoch is really cool. It's not scripture, but I think it would make for like a really, really cool graphic novel. Beowulf, Sons of God is also used for believers, but I do not believe it works in Genesis 6. It seems clear it is talking of fallen angels. Sons of God, the phrase itself, I don't think it is. We are called children of God when we are adopted into his family. But I think the specific phrase, sons of God, and you can look it up and check me on it if I'm wrong, Beowulf, please do. I don't want to be wrong. Robert Tuning, you still believe in religion? Wait till you're fighting on Mars. I believe in God and his holy word. Religion is man trying to figure out God. The Bible is God telling man who he is. There's a difference. Yes, garbage. Was Eli blind? If so, was he blind the entire movie? Yes, he was. That's what made his story miraculous when you find that out at the end. All right, let's see. I think I'm almost out here. Oh, we are actually over. Wow, that last 10 minutes went really fast. Well, thanks, everybody. Sorry I'm kind of drained today. Hopefully I can get some juices going before we start drawing and quartered, because Batman! Okay, I gotta go to sleep. I have not put... If you guys could go back to yesterday's stream, grab Kim and Oli's... I haven't gotten an update today. Oh, maybe it's because I haven't been on Facebook. I have not checked for updates. Of course, maybe he hasn't been able to upload an update because he hasn't been able to get on Facebook. I don't think I've gotten any texts. No, I got nothing about Kim today. Hopefully she's doing better. But, okay, I am going to, after the fact, drop that link in the... oh, actually, here. I can drop it in the chat right now. Please, guys, please, if you can. If you've got a spare few bucks, you can drop towards these guys. They really do need the help. So please do help them out. Thanks all for being here. Do love you. Love you all. Good day. God bless. Spend more time in the Word. And be nice to people, even if they disagree with you, okay? That's your calling. That's your job. Call no man a fool, or you are in danger of hellfire, because you have ruined your chance to witness to them.